Hey, now I want to talk to you guys real quick about setups. Not so much like my setup, but kind of the inner workings of the setup, for lack of a better word. Y'all just saw my setup earlier, and I really never did a setup video. Reason being because, as y'all can see, it's not really much of a setup. It's just equipment strategically placed back here, just to get the job done. When I first started, all I wanted was water and electricity. I wanted that pressure washer to be spraying water, and I want that vacuum to be working. That's all I cared about. So initially when I started, I had a 2200, I think it was 2200, maybe anywhere from 2200 to 2500 psi pressure washer, and it was under 2 gallons per minute, or it probably was a little over 2 gallons per minute. But the thing about that is I can turn the throttle down, which decrease the psi and the gallons per minute. So I can put 50 gallons in my tank, and I can do like, anywhere from 3 to 5 cars, sometimes 6. I had a 1,000-watt generator, and all it was for was to turn the vacuum on. That's the only reason I bought it. I asked them, would it be enough to turn the vacuum cleaner on? They said yes. I bought it. A&A was 6 months old at the time, and I go to a trailer dealer to buy my trailer for my lawn care, and I saw this water tank sitting there, and I asked the guy how much. He told me $90. I bought it. I didn't like the fact that it stood over my truck. I couldn't stand that. But it was going to get the job done, and that's all I was concerned with at the time. As time went on, I started to realize that those numbers, like gallons per minute, PSIs, watts, volts, all of that, it started to become very important. When I leveled up, when I bought like an air compressor and a steamer, that generator wouldn't even turn my steamer on. It wouldn't even turn the air compressor on either. So I just went and bought this one here, 3,000 watt. I thought that was going to solve all my problems. It appeared to at first, but over time I started to realize that it didn't. The air compressor pulled too much current. Like, it'll work by itself, and I'm gonna give you guys a demonstration, but it'll work by itself just fine. If I just plug in the air compressor, it'll work fine. Every now and then it'll trip a fuse, and I have to go and unplug everything and reset everything, and I'm back running again. But if I plug anything else, my steamer, my vacuum cleaner, anything that pulls a significant amount of current, it'll trip, or it'll just start jumping. So I'm gonna show y'all, when it does that. But so I had to start, like, now my thing is, now I got to downgrade everything. So I've bought, certain pieces of equipment. I bought a new air compressor. I bought that actually last year, and I'm gonna go with a smaller vacuum cleaner. I want everything to, low wattage. That way I can plug up multiple things at the same time. That's something that you're gonna want to, consider. I made this video is because a lot of people ask me questions all the time about, what do I have? What do I use? How many gallons? How many PSIs? How many gallons per minute? I get it all the time. And I started to think that, well, they asking all these questions, and if they see me have something, they go and buy it. And that's cool. I'm flattered. But the thing is, you have to take into consideration when you're purchasing this stuff, you don't want to go and buy something that somebody else has if y'all don't have the exact same situation. You get what I'm saying? If y'all don't have the same situation, you don't have the same setup, there's no need for you to go buy everything you see someone else has, because it may not work for you, or you may be wasting your money. So again, for you new guys that starting out, start off small and build up. Unless you just gonna do all your research and run all the numbers and all that, and go from there. And that's cool. You could do that too. But I just want to give you guys a quick insight on, on things that you may encounter. So when you're looking for equipment, when you're building your setup, you will have this in the back of your head, and you can minimize the mistakes. Say, how many gallons do I need? Okay, this is a 330 gallon water tank. All right, so just because you see me with this doesn't mean that that's what you need. I didn't really want it because look, it's taller than my truck. Well, you know, once I slide on the bed, I don't like that. I never did. But at the time, I just needed water. I needed something to hold water in. And it was cheap, so I bought it. But here's what I did not know. Okay, somewhere on these pressure washers, and this one may not have it on it, but here it is, right here. Now you see this, right there it says 3,100 PSI, 2.8 gallons per minute, 6.5 horsepower. Okay, well, the PSI is the pressure that the water's, you know, coming out at. And the 2.8 GPM. GPM stands for gallons per minute. So for every minute you hold that trigger, you're going to be getting 2.8 gallons, which is pretty close to 3 gallons per minute, which is pretty significant amount of water coming out. Even though it says 4,000 watts, that's peak. That's really what it's going to be running at right here. So that's what you want to look at. Pretty much. Okay, so now you have to take this into consideration when you're buying this stuff, right? Okay, when you buy a generator, what are you going to be running? Okay, what do you want to run with your generator? That's going to let you know how many watts to get. Okay, see, I can't tell you that, you know, I can't. So don't be so quick to ask a YouTuber, yo, how many watts do I need? Or how many watt generator do you have? And then you go purchase the same one, and you might have spent too much money. You might didn't need that at the time, or you didn't get the right one. You need more. You see? Okay, my first generator was 1,000 watts, so it was running at maybe 800 watts, and all I needed it for was to run this. Now, this is one of the bigger rigid vacs, and I just thought I would need more power and all this, so I bought it. Come to find out, I could have bought the smaller one and saved me a few dollars, and it doesn't pull as much. It doesn't put as much of a load on the generator as this one. You see what I'm saying? Another thing, you guys talk about air compressors. Okay, same mistake here. I mean, I just thought, well, I don't want to get it too big because I don't have that much room back here. But I wanted to get big enough to where I could hold some air, so I got the 8 gallon. That 800 watt generator that I had, it wouldn't even turn it on. And I had bought me a steamer too. It wouldn't turn that on. I upgraded and bought this. But here's the thing. I can plug in my steamer and the vacuum cleaner. But at times, it will put a load on it to where this thing will vibrate like crazy. And I have to unplug something or turn something off, because it won't run both of them at the same time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this thing up. I'm going to give you guys a quick demonstration on what it does when it gets a load on it. I'm going to go ahead and plug up the air compressor and turn this generator on. I'm going to have to downsize my air compressor or buy a bigger generator. Eventually build my setup back here. This is going to give me an idea of placement, pretty much. Because when I was pulling this out, I was like, wow, like, you know, you got to watch out for the mufflers. I mean, the pull rope is over. The starter on the generator is on this side, so you got to take that into consideration. All right, but let me move this out the way. As you can see, it's running fine. It's charging right now. And what I mean by charging, it's filling up with there. Now, if I were to plug this vacuum cleaner in it, if I was to plug this vacuum cleaner, sometimes it'll run fine and sometimes it'll put a load on it. It's doing just fine. As you can see, it's doing fine right now. Okay, now it just shut off. While I was running the air compressor and the vacuum, it tripped the circuit. You see this right here? Sticking out. See? Y'all see how it jumped like that? Now I got this big generator, but I got 4 plugs, but I can only plug one thing at a time. Even when I plug it here and here, it still does it. It never fails. The only time I can plug like multiple things up if it's like low voltage stuff, like when that steamer or the compressors together. Oh, it's a no-go. My solution to that problem is, like I said earlier, I'm gonna downsize everything. I went to a 6-gallon. It has more PSI. It's at 1.5 running horsepower. Now I gotta look at the. I have to go look at the manual. Go look that up online and see what the specs are for that. But when I can't remember the exact numbers, but when I checked, it was lower. This one was lower than that one, as far as like the wattage, the voltage and stuff like that. Again, I'm gonna downsize the vacuum as well, and I might still go up on this, but for the time being, I don't want to purchase another one of these. They're very expensive. I don't want to purchase another one, but if I have to, I will. But I'm downsizing. The compressor is probably going to be the biggest issue because it's pulling so much current that it needs the generator alone, and sometimes it will put a load on it when I'm only running the compressor. So 6 gallons is more than enough. It puts out more PSI. To my understanding, you can turn that down, up or down. The pressure washer as well. To my understanding, that you can modify these pumps. So I'm gonna do my research on that. Like, I want to do something where I could turn the pressure down. And when you turn the pressure down, I mean, obviously you're gonna turn the PSI down as well too. So that's something that I want to do, because I'm going to a 100-gallon tank. And that's my plan. I already have the tank. If you guys been watching, I bought the tank last year. I actually bought this last year too, but man, I just got so busy and too lazy to build a setup. But it's something I gotta do. I'm not gonna even tell you guys when, because you'll be looking for it and you'll be asking me. But trust me, I'll get it done.